in flood risk areas with safety devices by year-end. Pungsan, a defense company in Haeundae-gu district, has decided to relocate to Janganeup, Gijanggun County by 2030. This gives momentum to the long-delayed Centum 2 high-tech industrial complex project. Pungsan, a key local firm with 330 billion Korean won in annual sales and about 500 employees, has been in talks with the city and the Busan Urban Corporation. The city aims to transform Centum 2 into a hub for smart ships, robotics, intelligent machinery, and IT. In international news, the U.S. State Department expressed deep concern over North Korea's plan to send an additional 6,000 military engineers and construction personnel to support Russia's war efforts in Ukraine. The spokesperson highlighted that Russia continues to rely on North Korean workers and soldiers who not only aid military operations but also help fund North Korea's illicit weapons programs in violation of UN sanctions. And now for today's weather. It is currently 27 degrees Celsius under clear skies, and today's highest is going up to 31 degrees. That wraps up this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You are listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
Coming up next is Busan Worldwide with Stephanie Yoon. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Good morning and welcome to Busan Worldwide. There's a well-known saying in Korean, education is a 100-year plan. 네, 흔히 교육은 100년 지대계라고 합니다. It means that education is not just about immediate results, but about shaping individuals, society, and the future of a nation. Today, the education system here in Busan is facing multiple challenges, from a declining student population and to weakened teacher authority and diminishing competitiveness among local universities. But this moment of crisis may also be a crucial opportunity, an opportunity to reimagine and reshape education for the future. Well, this is Busan Worldwide, and I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon.
This is Busan Worldwide, your window into Busan, your bridge to the world.
Welcome to Busan Worldwide on this Wednesday morning. Happy Hump Day. It is June 18th. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday morning so far. Now, Superintendent Kim Seok-jun, elected earlier this year, has emphasized the importance of restoring trust in public education. His vision includes educational reform that puts students and teachers at the center and building an educational ecosystem that grows together with the local community. For Busan's education system to return to a healthy track, public opinion and community direction are just as important as policy or administration. And that's why today on Busan Worldwide, we're talking about what quality education or good education really means. Now, in just a moment on the interview, we'll sit down with the chairman of Dongmyeong Culture Academy to talk about practical and meaningful education. And our question of the day is, what do you think good education looks like? What do you think quality education looks like? 네, 오늘의 문자 주제는요, 여러분이 생각하는 좋은 교육은 무엇인가요? 인데요. Now, our writer says, good education nurtures each child's unique potential and teaches them to care for one another with warmth and compassion, what we often call character education. For me, good education is sharing that passion for learning, not just about just knowing or memorizing knowledge and data, but really wanting to learn. And I think that heart and that culture comes from teachers and schools as well. Well, listeners, you can send us your thoughts through text, which is pound 9050 for 101, or Kakao Talk, or the live YouTube chat. As always, we'll select one listener to receive a coffee coupon. We have Benny messaging in saying, hello, everyone. Good Wednesday morning. Happy Wednesday morning to you as well. Thank you so much for messaging in. And from Busan to the world, Busan worldwide. 오늘의 더 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. Now it's time for the interview. 동명목재 was a key player in Korea's industrialization during the 1960s and 70s and remains one of Busan's most iconic local companies. Carrying out on that legacy, Dongmyeong Culture Academy now operates Dongmyeong University and Dongmyeong Technical High School as well, really staying true to the core of education while adapting to changing times. So today we speak with Chairman Kang Yong-u of Dongmyeong Culture Academy to hear his thoughts on educational philosophy and strategies for the future. 네, 동명문화학원은 부산의 대표 기업인 동명목재의 정신을 이어받아 동명대학교와 동명공고를 운영하고 있습니다. 오늘 더 인터뷰에선 강경수 이사장을 모시고 교육 철학과 미래 교육에 대해 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Pleasure to be here, Stephanie. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. Now, you took office this past April and are now leading Dongmyeong Culture Academy.
Yes.
Now, to start, how do you feel about taking on this role?
Well, it's a mixed bag of emotions, clearly. I've had 20 plus years of experience in the finance world as a derivative trader. However, I've always known since I was a kid that I will take on the helm one day, being the firstborn son and all. It's kind of been embedded in me from my mother since I was in middle school. So it was a faith. But being in the seat is a lot more different, and you could certainly feel the heavy weight on my shoulders. But I approach this with humility. First and foremost, I'm there to listen. I'm in a position where I do lead and manage this foundation. However, I'm more open to suggestions, and I believe in a bottom-up type of mentality. So all in all, it's been fantastic. But I do have a Bible verse that I like to share, being a Christian, and this has been kind of the foundation of my life for a very long time, and it's been it suited my approach to this role very well. It's from the book of Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 13-14, and it reads, "Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, but always do everything with love." And I think that encompasses the difficultness that is ahead of me. However, being in faith will always help me persevere. There will be times when I need to be courageous because there are tough decisions that I need to make, which, if you really think about it, impacts many lives. I have over 600 employees, so that is a heavy burden on me. But at the same time, if I put love in forefront of everything, I believe it will lead to a gracious outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to hear how your family legacy, but also personal values all come together in your approach to leadership. And I think it sounds like Dongmyeong Culture Academy is in wise and compassionate hands. Now, Dongmyeong Culture Academy traces its roots to the founding philosophy of the late chairman Kang Seok-jin of 동명목재. For those unfamiliar, what kind of company was 동명목재 and what was his educational vision?
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. I'll be as concise as possible. The late Kang Seok-jin, Dr. Kang Seok-jin, or my grandfather, was born in 1907. Unfortunately, he comes from a very poor background, so he's never had an education above that of a first year middle school, I believe. And in order to make ends meet, he moved from Gyeongsang, Cheongdo, to Busan, basically, in 1921, and he worked for a Japanese sawmill manufacturing. The guy was a sawmill by trade, but he also made personalized wooden furnitures. And my grandfather was very skilled with his hands, and that led to him founding the Dongmyeong Jejoso, or Dongmyeong Timber Mill, in 1925 at the age of 19. And after about a bit more than 2 decades, he founded the Dongmyeong Timber Trading Company, or 동명목재 as we know today.
Right.
In 1949, he acquired about 2 million square meters of land in Yongdang-dong, where our university sits today. And he's basically been a pioneer of the lumber industry, the leader in Korea in #1 exports for consecutive years. He's given many presidential medal citations, and founded the Busan Bank in 1967.
Oh, wow.
Was the, I think, 2-time chairman of Busan Chamber and Commerce in its inception in 1962. And in 1977, in April, he founded the Dongmyeong Educational Foundation. And just a few months later, we started the Dongmyeong Technical High School. So why did he do all this? Because he was actually a very humble person. And I know this because I felt it growing up. I still remember him very vividly. He used to tell my mother this French quote called "Noblesse oblique," and that really means the foundation of oneself to have the moral duty as a privileged person to give back to those who need, and that was his founding philosophy. And just to give you a taste of what his educational philosophy is, I would like to read to you the educational 교훈 that we have.
Okay.
And it reads, all of us are inherently endowed with the responsibility of self-creation. To fulfill this responsibility, one must possess knowledge and skills, as well as honesty, integrity, diligence, and sincerity, to nurture capable successors who can contribute to the prosperity of our nation and the achievement of human welfare. It is in accordance with these profound ideas that Dongmyeong Institute of Culture and Education Foundation is established.
Oh, wow.
So I think that encompasses his vision, and more importantly, it really aligns with what higher education has and always will be, is really about, which I think we've lost along the way. We live in a capitalistic society, which means we have to equip our students with the ability to make ends meet, which means we have to stay in the times of innovation and advancements in society. And his philosophy of creating not just jobs, but having the ability to entrepreneur, having the ability to, to create self-value has always been the core, and I think that resonates a lot today.
Absolutely. Now, it's definitely impressive to see how Chairman Kang Seok-jin's entrepreneurial spirit and dedication, even to national development, I think really laid a strong foundation, not just for the industry, but for education, as you mentioned, and public service as well. Now, listeners, if you're just joining us here at Busan Worldwide, we're in the middle of the interview with Chairman Kang Yong-u of Dongmyeong Culture Academy. Now, Dongmyeong Culture Academy currently operates both Dongmyeong Technical High School and Dongmyeong University. While many people are familiar with Dongmyeong University, the high school may be less well known. So could you briefly introduce Dongmyeong Technical High School?
Sure. Dongmyeong Technical High School is actually in where we sit at the foundation. We consider it the big brother because it was founded before the university in 1977, around Q3 or fall of that year. It has three core values that I think resonates. It's basically successful employment coming out of high school, because my grandfather and my father as well, the late Kang Yong-u, really believed that you don't have to go to college to have a job. In fact, if you look at the European system or the Singapore Polytechnic system, the path to a career is as good as one with higher education, meaning that you earn as much. So service-based economies in advanced nations are catered to those who also graduate from high school. And I think that's been the philosophy, maybe way ahead of its time.
Right.
But it has always been that. And so successful employment, excellent advancements in higher education, as well as safety in school are the three core values. Currently, it operates the smart machinery and electronics department, and it really caters to providing certificates to graduates so that you have something to prove and also knowledge to jump right into the jobs rather than seek higher education.
Right. It's great to learn more about the high school's mission with such a strong focus on hands-on skills and career readiness, right?
Yes.
I think it seems to be playing an important role in preparing students for the real world. Well, regional universities are facing challenges like declining school-age populations. So how is Dongmyeong University addressing these immediate issues through innovation?
Sure, this is a very tough one because our government has been steadfast in its attempt to tackle the aging population and the lack of birth since the late 70s, actually. This is the fourth time they're trying. Unfortunately, the stats reveal that they have not done a very good job.
Right.
But it's not, the government's fault. It's the development of society, and Korea really, the Korean miracle, 70 years of extreme rapid growth. It's somewhere that cannot be found.
Absolutely.
So, what I think my background is interesting in that sense. When I graduated my master's degree, I really wanted to work in Hong Kong. My wife and I used to meet in Hong Kong quite a bit. It was kind of like the halfway point for us. Her from Seoul, me from Singapore. But Hong Kong always reminded me of New York, like a baby New York, where I grew up. And unfortunately, back then, without having Cantonese as a language, it was very difficult to get a job. So I found Singapore. I stumbled onto it in about 17 years ago. And I truly became a fan of Singapore. I believe it is a very unique nation. And I think Busan really needs to embrace this type of model. And it's not just, bringing in jobs or creating opportunities for the local as well as globalizing the city. It's more about embracing culture and religion. Singapore is a very unique place where you could find a Muslim mosque, a Buddhist temple, and a Catholic church right next to each other.
Okay.
And that shows how the government has remained neutral in their religious stance, however, allows other religions as well as communities to prosper. And I think that is something that Korea as a whole can learn from, and most importantly, Busan, because I don't think we can rely on the central government, although we have a new government now and a new president, but history will show that we can't really rely on the move away from in-Seoul mentality in respect to education and jobs or conglomerates in Korea. So Busan should open up to internationals more. And the importance here is while they're living here, they'll consume. And as long as we live in a capitalistic society, consumption is key. And the local businesses these days, you can see if you go down to Gyeongsang University area or Busan National University area, even in Seomin areas, many places already closed doors. Has already closed its doors, and that goes to show that domestic circulation of currency is no longer really applicable, and it's hurting a lot of the mama and papa shops. And I think embracing a Hong Kong or a Singaporean model, both economically, socially, but also religiously, can really help Busan. And Dongmyeong University has really embraced this. I have mainly, and I'm trying to bestow this upon the leaders of the university. And through that mission, we founded the Busan International College last year. This is an aim, a strategic move for us to have a permanent footprint in globalizing education in Dongmyeong. And we are doing this while working in conjunction with many collaborators in international stage as well as domestically. I personally am visiting many countries, have done several rounds of university visits in Korea, trying to partner up and come up with ideas where we can really innovate education that meets today's rapidly changing society.
I see. So the launch of Busan International College sounds like a major step not only for the university but also for the city of Busan as it navigates these challenging demographic shifts. And there's been big buzz in the community lately as the nation's largest Gyeongsang National University Veterinary Hospital will be built on Dongmyeong University's campus. So how did Dongmyeong Culture Academy manage to bring a national university to its grounds?
Well, we found a opportunity that I think it presented itself. First of all, we were not the first candidates for Gyeongsang University. They actually went to Busan National University. Unfortunately, Busan National University wanted to create their own veterinarian school and a hospital, so that idea was rejected from them, and we saw the opportunity to grab it. And the fact of the matter is there was a huge market gap in especially Buulgyeong area. As you know, contrary to a lot of people's belief, Haeundae is not the most pet-loving location in Busan. It's actually Suyeonggu,
oh, really?
Namcheondong, which is right next to Namgu. I see more pets in baby carriages these days than babies itself. So it goes to show that we will need a standardized quality medical service for companion animals, as we call it in Korea. And I am an animal lover myself. My father and my grandfather as well. I've had already 4 dogs growing up. I have one now. I have a golden retriever at home. And we really thought there was a need for a tier 1 hospital where we could bring in, advanced care for pets, as well as improve health outcomes for pets, and also to standardize cost for these medical needs, because there are a lot of clinics all over Busan and the price gaps are very large. I've seen it personally myself, and I think having a tier 1 hospital come in will kind of set the stage, be the benchmark of creating standardized pricing for consumers, and I think that will benefit Busan, but also most importantly the people living in Busan.
Absolutely. Impressive. And it shows how strategic vision, right, and personal passion and love and community-focused values can come together to create something really impactful. Now, if you are just tuning into Busan Worldwide, we are in the middle of the interview with actually Chairman Kang Yong-u of Dongmyeong Culture Academy. Now, Dongmyeong Culture Academy is said to be actively contributing to local industries and youth development through close ties with the community. So could you tell us more about your strategy for regional collaboration and mutual growth?
Sure. There is actually a lot I can say here, but unfortunately I can't, because it is a very important aspect of our master plan that we have in place. 2027 will be the 50th year of our foundation, and we are trying to meet that deadline to launch our new initiatives. But what I can share is that we are working very closely with the mayor's office. We are clearly having the decision to donate a large part of our land to the effectively Ministry of Education, as well as creating 창업 거점지구, so where we are going to bring in startup companies to create jobs, create opportunity for students. So we've signed MOUs with numerous places in Busan, especially Namgu is where we're located. We are working very closely with Namgu 청장님, where we will collaborate in job creations, educational revamp, and many more. I can share a little bit.
Okay.
We noticed that there aren't many sports facilities in the Namgu area. So we are going to invest and find partners to invest with us to create facilities for the people in Namgu. And I think these are some ways that we can give back to the society. But at the same time, being an education institution, our main focus and primary goal is to create a top tier or top quality education. And we feel that's the best way we could give back.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's exciting to hear how Dongmyeong University is just actively shaping the future of a region through collaboration and innovation as well. Now, in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, what educational strategies does Dongmyeong Culture Academy plan to pursue moving forward, and what key directions will you be focusing on?
So I don't want to come off sounding too blunt, but I do believe
you can be blunt.
I do believe the global education system is broken. What I mean by that is if I look at my daughters who are in middle school and elementary school, what's happening is schools are actually competing with gaming platforms because at the end of the day, students need to manage their time and invest enough time to learn.
Right.
Meaning to sit down and to really focus on a subject. And it has to happen naturally. It can't be forced. And I think that is one area in for kids. But as a university, today's world, especially with AI, is extremely rapidly changing to a pace where university cannot keep up.
Right.
I am speaking to innovators in Seoul in the AI and blockchain space, and they feel universities are about 5 to 7 years behind the technologies they are dealing with today. And within the next 3 months, that will already have changed.
Absolutely.
So this is a concept of Moore's law in electronics engineering. Basically what that means is every 2 years, the chip capacity doubles while the cost of producing chip halves. So this is kind of a J-curve we're seeing in the AI space. But this is not only happening in AI because AI will be ubiquitous. Basically, today the cell phone is our personal computer, and 20 years ago, no one really thought about this. So AI will be everywhere. It will be in the background doing things for us. And I think we need to tailor curriculums to best fit today's rapidly changing, innovative world. And if you're looking for a couple keywords, I think disruptive technology is one that we should be focusing on. And it's not just a curriculum building type of education. It has to be rotational, fluid, constantly moving and flexible. And that will have to kind of break the traditional framework of education.
Okay.
The most difficult part with this, it would be getting the professors to realign with this new age. But we are working on that as we speak, and speaking to innovators who will help us to achieve this goal. So hopefully, in the very near future, we'll have some things lined up to launch.
Right. Keeping pace with the AI era isn't just necessary, it's critical for the future of higher education. So it's great to hear. Now let's move on to our last question of the day, which is our text topic. To you, what makes good education or quality education?
Well, I'm not sure if I addressed this question very well, but I am a firm believer that institutional education is not what's really important. I think parental education is actually the key.
Okay.
Neuroscience has proven that by the age of 12, our language capabilities and the be able to accept and pronunciate words as a native kind of stops at the age of 12. So just goes to show that adolescence growth and education then is far more important than higher learning or what the institutions could provide you. So we know as parents, there's no manual to being a parent. Although I've read a couple books on raising daughters, because I have two, I think there are numerous important aspects to cover this. But one book that I read that I really liked is Dorothy Law's Dorothy Law Notes poem on children learn what they live. And if you criticize a lot at home, they will learn to condemn.
Oh.
If you are hostile at home, they'll learn to fight. If you ridicule, they'll be very shy. If you encourage them, then they'll be confident. If you build tolerance at home, they'll learn to adapt and be patient. If you praise them, they will learn to appreciate. And if you show acceptance, they'll learn to love and care. And a quote that I really like is, because children are living message we send in time that we will never see. We won't be there when they are adults. It's natural, birth and death. So I think creating this foundation in our children to really be the examples of, or better examples of you is the most important thing a parent could give. Unfortunately, in many Asian countries, I think this has been lost because it's all about education and having a certificate or going to good universities, having a good job. Especially in Korea, if you look at where we came from, the Korean War, the first generation, and I'll be the third generation now, so the first generation during that time lived in rubbles. Their job was to make ends meet. That was it. They didn't have any more objectives or even the ability to do others. So those who grew up, the second generations, accepting only love, only showing love. They don't really know the tough love that needs to come with parenting. And I think that has been lost. Therefore, we have, we hear a lot of conflicts at high schools with parents
Different
getting lawyers
issues,
involved and the fights. And I think this is it's not here to blame anyone. I think it's just that Korea just evolved so quickly that we've lost the foundation of parenting. And I think, in these type of subjects, I actually conversate quite often with my friends, mainly Kyopos, who's kind of seeing the both sides of the coin, and actually many Singaporeans as well. So I'm a firm believer that if you don't do proper parental education first, what comes after may lead them to a great university or a great job or a great career. But at the end of the day, I think we need a society of pupils that can understand what it means to have responsibility, what it means to be accountable, what it means to be integral, especially when no one's watching you.
Right.
So I think these are the most important parts of education.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really reminds us that quality education starts at home. And I love that quote that you mentioned. Children are a message we send to a time we won't see.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for today's The Interview. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And that's The Interview with Chairman Kang Yong-u of Dongmyeong Culture Academy.
Thank you.
All right. Before we wrap up and listen to a song, I want to read one message. A couple messages. We have Chebong Lee 님 saying hello from Singapore. We have Gabriel 님 messaging and saying morning all. Great show. Great to see a university looking into the future and community development. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and messaging in today. Let's take a quick song break. This is Mr. Big with To Be With You.
Hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl. A broken heart can't be that bad when it's through. It's through. Fate would twist of both of you. So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it. Waited on a line of reasons just to be the next to be with you.
that was To Be With You by Mr. Big. Welcome back to Busan Worldwide. I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon. We have a lot of messages coming in as 이재봉님 messaged in saying hello from Singapore. They also sent us a picture, beautiful picture of, I believe, Singapore. Actually, I have, had a transition, like a transfer flight over through Changi Airport, but I have never traveled in Singapore, so this is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that picture with us. I always appreciate those pictures. Now we have 사랑니 요정님 saying 모두 안녕하세요. Hello. 여름 날씨네요. 후덥지근합니다. Yes, absolutely. It's getting hotter and hotter. Personally, I love the heat. I am from Arizona, so I'm enjoying this weather. Hope you're enjoying it as well. We have 사람대원님 saying, good morning, Stephanie, and everyone. Happy hump day. Jinli님 messaging in as well, saying happy Wednesday. 고수님, Benny님, Natasha님 messaging in, and Ella님 saying good morning. I believe it's your maybe first time here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to Busan Worldwide. Now with that, we're going to move on to Busan Update. Now it's time for Busan Update. Busan's mascot Buki now available for nationwide commercial use. 부산시가 지역 중소기업과 소상공인만 사용하던 캐릭터 부기를 전국 모든 사업체에 개방합니다. The Busan Metropolitan Government has expanded commercial usage rights for its mascot Buki to all businesses across the country. This decision aims to boost the mascot's visibility and promote the city nationwide. Now, interested businesses can apply, and the usage fee is 3% of sales revenue with a discounted rate of 2% for businesses based in Busan. Local SMEs and small business owners in Busan may continue using Buki free of charge. And that's it for Busan Update. We'll be back with Correspondent Reports. Now it's time for Correspondent Reports, where we connect with our reporters from all around the world. Today we're heading to Japan. 네, 일본의 김지숙 통신원, 안녕하십니까?
네, 안녕하십니까? 일본 현지통신원 김지숙입니다.
네, 반갑습니다. So let's begin with our first story. The number of foreign visitors to Kyoto reportedly surpassed 10 million last year. So could you tell us more about this? 네, 첫 번째 소식입니다. 일본 교토를 찾은 외국인 관광객이 지난해 1,000만 명을 넘어섰다고 합니다. 자세한 내용 전해주시죠.
네, 교토시가 지난 11일 2024년에 교토 시내를 방문한 관광객이 전년 대비 578만 명 많은 5,606만 명이었다고 발표했습니다. 이는 역대 최다였던 2015년에 5,684만 명에 이어서 두 번째로 많은 숫자인데요. 이 중 외국인 관광객은 1,088만 명이었다고 합니다. 일본 공영방송 NHK는 교토시가 외국인 관광객 수를 조사하기 시작한 건 2015년부터인데요. 1,000만 명을 넘은 것은 이번이 처음이라고 전했습니다.
I see. So on June 11th, the Kyoto city government announced that in 2024, a total of 56.06 million people visited the city, 5.78 million more than the previous year. Now, this is the second highest number on record, just behind 56.84 million visitors in 2015. Of the total, 10.88 million were foreign visitors, and Kyoto began tracking this figure in 2015, and it's the first time the number has exceeded 10 million. Now, with so many visitors from overseas, there must have been some effect on the hotel industry as well. 외국인 관광객이 그렇게 많았다면 숙박업계에도 영향이 있을 것 같은데요?
네, 전체 투숙객이 1,630만 명으로 역대 최다를 기록했는데요. 일본인은 전년보다 130만 명이 줄어서 809만 명이었고요. 외국인은 285만 명 늘어서 831만 명으로 이 항목의 통계를 게시한 1958년 이래 처음으로 외국인 투숙객 수가 일본인을 웃돈 것으로 알려졌습니다.
그렇군요. 일본인보다 외국인 숙박객이 많았다는 건 정말 이례적인 일일 것 같은데요. The total number of overnight guests reached 16.3 million, setting a new record. And the number of Japanese guests declined by 1.3 million to 8.09 million, declined by 1.3 million, while foreign guests increased by 2.85 million to 8.31 million. So, for the first time since the records began in 1958, foreign guests outnumbered Japanese guests. Now, Kyoto is popular among Japanese tourists too. So do you know why fewer Japanese travelers stayed overnight? 교토라면 일본인들에게도 인기 있는 관광지일 텐데 일본인 투숙객이 줄어든 원인이 있을까요?
네, 교토시 관광 마이스 추진실은 시내 숙박시설 가격이 상승해서 일본인은 당일치기를 선택하는 사람이 늘어난 것으로 보고 있습니다. 그리고 시민생활과 조화된 지속가능한 관광 실현을 추진하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
I see. So according to Kyoto's Tourism MICE Promotion Office, the rise in the accommodation prices has led more domestic tourists to opt for day trips. The city also stated that its commitment to promoting sustainable tourism that respects and coexists with local life. And moving on to our second story, Japan ranked 118th out of 148 countries in the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Report. So what are the details? 두 번째 소식입니다. 세계 경제 포럼의 성격차 보고서에서 일본이 148개국 중 118위를 차지했다고 하는데요. 자세한 내용 전해주시죠.
네, 스위스의 국제 조직인 세계경제포럼이 매년 교육, 건강, 정치, 경제 4개 분야에서 조사 대상국인 148개국의 성별 격차를 분석해서 매년 성격차 보고서를 발표하는데요. 지난 12일에 발표된 2025년 성격차 보고서에서 148개국 가운데 일본은 지난해와 동일한 118위를 기록했습니다.
그렇군요. So the World Economic Forum publishes this annual report analyzing gender disparities in education, health, politics, and the economy across 148 countries. In the 2025 report released on June 12th, Japan ranked 118th, the same as last year. Then how did Japan perform in each category? 각 분야별로 일본이 어떤 평가를 받았는지요?
네, 일본 NHK 보도에 따르면요. 교육과 건강 분야에서는 남녀 간 평등을 거의 달성한 수준이고 경제 분야도 다소 개선됐지만 정치 참가 분야에서 여성 강요가 감소한 점 등에 따라 평가가 낮았다고 전했습니다. 한편 이 보고서에서 남녀 간의 평등이 가장 앞선 곳은 16년 연속으로 아이슬란드이고 한국은 지난해보다 7계단 하락한 101위를 기록한 것으로 나타났습니다.
I see. So according to NHK, Japan has nearly achieved gender equality in education and health. There was also some improvement in the economic sector. However, the country received a low score in political participation due in part to a decrease in the number of female cabinet ministers. Iceland was once again ranked first for gender equality for the 16th consecutive year, and South Korea dropped to 7 spots to 101st. With that, let's move on to our final topic for today. Professor Kang Yong-u of Yonsei University has been selected for the 35th Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize in the academic research category, so we're going to hear a bit about that. 세 번째 소식입니다. 백영서 연세대 명예교수가 제35회 일본 후쿠오카 아시아 문화상 학술 연구상 수상자로 선정됐다고 하는데요. 자세한 소식 전해주시죠.
네, 후쿠오카 아시아문화상 위원회 측이 공식 홈페이지를 통해서 수상자 선정 소식을 전했는데요. 학술 연구상 수상자로 선정된 백영서 명예교수에 대해서 한국을 대표하는 중국 현대사 연구자이자 국경을 넘어 민중과 시민이 생활하는 핵심 현장의 관점에서 동아시아를 고찰하고 연구해온 사상가로 사회과학과 인문과학의 인문 과학에 있어서 지도적인 역할을 해왔다고 설명했습니다.
I see. So the award committee announced the selection through its official website. Professor Bae Kyung-seo was recognized as a leading scholar of modern history and as a thinker who examines East Asia from the perspective of daily life across national borders. They also played a prominent role in both the social sciences and the humanities. Could you tell us more about the Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize? 이 후쿠오카 아시아 문화상에 대해서 좀 더 자세히 설명 부탁드릴게요.
네, 후쿠오카 아시아 문화상은 아시아의 독특하고 다양한 문화를 보존하고 창조하는데 탁월한 업적을 이룬 인물을 기리기 위해서 후쿠오카시가 수여하는 국제상입니다. 1990년에 제정했으며 올해로 35회째를 맞이합니다. 지금까지 28개 국가 및 지역에서 총 127명이 이 후쿠오카 아시아 문화상을 받았고요. 한국에서는 영화감독 임권택, 그리고 원로 민속학자 임동권 교수, 또 국악예술인 김덕수 씨 등이 이 상을 받은 바 있습니다. 참고로 올해 수상식은요, 9월 16일 사전 예약제로 후쿠오카 시내에서 개최될 예정입니다.
I see. So the Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize is an international award established in 1990 by the city of Fukuoka. It honors individuals who have made outstanding contributions to preserving and developing the diverse cultures of Asia. To date, 127 people from 28 countries and regions have received the award, and Korean recipients include film director Im Kwon-taek and traditional musician Kim Deok-soo as well. And the award ceremony will be held on September 16th in Fukuoka as well. And that's going to do it for today's Correspondent Reports connecting with our reporter based in Japan. 네, 일본의 여러 가지 소식 전해주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다. 지금까지 일본 후쿠오카에서 김지숙 통신원이었습니다.
네. All right, and that was Ms. Kim Ji-suk based in Fukuoka. And listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today and listening. Now, today's text topic was, what does good education, quality education mean to you? Let's check out some of the messages coming in today. So we have Benny Nim saying, for me, a quality education would be a child-friendly environment and then a great facility for a guidance office and diversity with foreign students too. Ooh, all three things that you mentioned, absolutely important. Thank you so much for sharing. We also have 고수님 saying, 제가 생각하는 교육이란 밥상머리 교육이라고 생각해요. 가족이 다 같이 밥 먹을 때 만나는데 그때 부모님의 애정과 관심이 교육의 첫 걸음인 것 같습니다. 라고 보내주셨어요. I think that goes that's very similar to what our guest mentioned, how parental education is so important. And when you're eating maybe dinner or breakfast together, just having that conversation and showing that love and appreciation and praising them as well, but also correcting them and teaching them is absolutely important. And we have 재봉리님 saying, 뭐니 해도 엄마의 등짝 스매싱이 좋은 교육이죠 라고 보내셨는데요. I don't know, maybe having that kind of discipline is absolutely important. I'm not going to say what's right and wrong, but yes, whatever you do at home to correct them with love, right? A loving correction is important and discipline is important as well. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. We also have Boogie, Benny Nim saying Boogie is going to be super famous. He will learn from different hosts here at Busan BEFM. I absolutely agree, like Minsu, right? And we have Natasha Nim saying the weather today is perfect for from ice cream. Need something to freeze my brain. Have a lovely, lovely day, everyone. Busan Worldwide team, and always be safe. Well, thank you so much, Natasha Nim, for messaging in and for that lovely message today. Listeners, that's all we have for you today here at Busan Worldwide. If you'd like to listen to this episode again, you can find our show on befm.or.kr or BFM app, as well as our YouTube Live. You can just go to YouTube and search BEFM or 부산영어방송. Check out all of our previous episodes anytime you want. And you can also check out our rerun at 8 p.m. tonight. Our final song for today is by Sam Ok with Space. Today's program program, as always, was produced by Chang Hyun-jun, written by Bang Mira. I've been your host, Stephanie Yoon. We will see you tomorrow at 11:05 a.m. Bye-bye.
Every thought and word and all the precious time I'll spend my nickels and my dimes, 'cause there is no price to you. You're one so far and few, yeah. Around the blue we'll take our time. When you are far, all that I want is to be me, yeah. Even on rainy days I want to share your tears. You are my joy, you give me peace, you are my friend. As long as I get to be with you till the end, yeah, we'll sing it out. Take me to Germany and take me to Spain, maybe Los Angeles, it's all okay. Wherever you will be is my favorite place. As long as I get to be with you, that's the sweetest thing.
Give me a date and you can give me any time. You are my favorite phase, you are my favorite rhyme. How can I be the same since I ran into you? We'll play a lovely chord, we'll play a lovely tune, a lovely tune.
Around and round the world we go, across the ocean blue, the blue. No better place than me and you. Around and round the world we go, across the ocean blue, the blue. No better place than me and you. No better place than you. Take me to Germany and take me to Spain, Barcelona, Spain, Los Angeles, it's all okay. All okay. Wherever you will be is my favorite place. My favorite place. As long as I get to be with you, that's the sweetest thing. Ocean blue, the blue. No better place than me and you. No better place than me and you. Around and round the world we go, yeah. Across the ocean blue, the blue. No better place than me and you. No better place than